All right, we will begin with some opening comments from the head coach. Rand?
Um, we're devastated. It was a great year, and this wasn't the way it was supposed to end. So, I'm proud of my guys. I really couldn't ask for a better group, and we weren't perfect through two periods, but we played well enough. We had plenty of chances, and we just couldn't score. I don't know if there's any one pivotal moment, but we had a ton of grade A's in the first two periods, and we just couldn't finish. And sometimes the puck just won't go in the net for you, and it's unfortunate. That was one of the things tonight. And then they sneaked that one in right at the end of the second, and then I thought we still were fine, and then they sneaked out that second one in, and we just couldn't get a bounce tonight. But I couldn't be more proud of my players and the season that we had, and I think we were the best team in college hockey, and unfortunately for the season, we didn't prove it tonight, and you got to give Yale credit for that.
Zach, your thoughts?
As far as the game goes, I think Coach wrapped that up pretty nicely. It's obviously not the way we wanted it to end, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to do it with, and would like to end a little differently, but I'm proud of what we did, and I'm excited to see where Quinnipiac goes in the future.
Take your questions just for Zach now. Zach, questions for Zach. We'll utilize the microphones. Okay, right here. Thanks.
Will Graves, Associated Press. Zach, was it that second goal, the one that really seemed to kind of take the one out of your sails? Because the first few minutes of the third, I mean, you guys were, again, down there, again, pressing, and then when that second one got in, things kind of got away from you.
I think obviously that second one hurts. I mean, you're down by one. That's really nothing in the game of hockey. So we came out of the third pretty excited. We had every intention of coming back in that game, obviously, and I don't think the second one took the wind out of our sails. I think our team's extremely resilient and showed that all year. But obviously giving up that second one sets us back. But I wouldn't say that was the goal that turned it.
Okay, front here.
Jeff Cox, SB Nation. Zach, I was wondering if you talk about the Yale forecheck. It really seemed like they were doing something that took you guys, or at least they were forechecking pretty well. Did you see that on the ice? Yeah,
I mean, I think you can look at Yale through the whole tournament here and say that their forechecking was a huge part of their success. It seemed like they recommitted to it, and they were working extremely hard. They were getting in on us pretty good there, and give credit to them. They worked hard, and I think it was definitely a big part of their success.
Okay, in the front here.
Matt Slavin, New York Times. Zach, if you would you talk about how frustrating it was facing their goalie tonight?
I mean, he had a great game. Like Coach said, we had some extremely good chances in the first two periods. If we capitalize on one or two of those, it's a completely different game, and who knows what happens in the end. He showed up in his big moment, and he played extremely well when he needed to, made the saves he needed to. So obviously it's frustrating when you're on the other end of that. Again, give him credit for what he did, and we got to finish our chances when we get them.
Anything further for Zach? Okay, Zach, we'll let you go. Thanks very much. Congratulations on a great season. Questions for Rand? Bob, here in front.
Rand, Bob Snow, NHL.com. Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
You talked before the other day about their first two lines and how they had that balance, and they literally had all the offense tonight. Can you talk about what difficulties you had in shutting that down, at least keeping you in the game until you could get back into it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought all four of their lines were good tonight. I thought in the end, I thought it was a pretty evenly matched game. They scored 3 seconds. They really should be going in the third period, nothing. And the game was pretty even. The score's not indicative, I think, how the game was played. And in the end, they got a couple bounces and finished some chances, and we didn't. Their first 2 goals they didn't rip them under the bar. They go in sometimes, and third goal was nice. We give a breakaway, and that, but again, if we're not at 2-0, we probably don't. We're pressing. We're trying to get back in the game, but again, I don't think we were perfect tonight, but I thought we were good enough to win, and we just couldn't finish. Sometimes, like I said earlier, the puck just won't go in the net for you, and Malcolm was he was great. He was the best player on the ice, and he won that game for him.
Jim,
Jim Conley from USCHO. Obviously, both teams had 5-on-3s, but now looking back on it, not scoring on that 5-on-3 for yourselves in a game that you needed to get on the board at some point, how much of a turning point was that for you?
Yeah, and it wasn't very good. Our guys didn't make good decisions. We didn't screen the goalie on the one shot, and it was poorly executed. But you could. There's probably, I'll go through the video. There's probably 10 moments. I mean, bad 5-on-3. Couple power play, good looks. We take a little too long. Jordan has the breakaway. Malcolm makes the big save. I mean, there was a lot of offense for us, a lot of great A's, and so I don't know if you can pick any one thing. We just we've scored goals, not in abundance all year, but we've been scoring in this tournament, and then just like I said, it just wouldn't go in the net tonight.
okay, in the back here.
NATO and U.S. college hockey. In the semifinal against Brown, you said Eric wasn't aggressive enough in net. Did you feel that was the case tonight, or is it something different?
No, I mean, I just think obviously he'd love to have that second one back. I think we all know hockey, and it's part of the game. But Eric was our best player this year. I think he was the best player in college hockey. I really do. I still believe that. I think he was the most dominant player in college hockey this year for what he did for us, for taking Quinnipiac to the national championship game. And I think he should have won the Hobey Baker. I don't want to take anything away from Drew. He's a great player, and Johnny Gaudreau, and there, you could have picked a lot of guys this year, but I thought Hartsey was the best player in college hockey this year, and I'm sure he wishes he could have that second one back. But you know what? Without Hartsey, we're not here. We don't go to the Frozen Four. I mean, he was awesome against St. Cloud on Thursday. He was awesome all year for us.
Okay, Jeff.
Jeff Cox, SB Nation. Can you talk about how difficult it is to beat a team 4 times, and if you have any feelings on that?
Yeah, I don't know if that was as big a factor as. I mean, we were fired up. I think that happens sometimes in the regular season or something like that. But this is the national championship game, so I don't think you can put as much into that. I do think in the first 3 games, if you believe in luck and bounces, I mean, we got some good bounces in the first 3 games. We outscored them 13-3 in the first 3 games, and scored some iffy goals in those games that we got some a little bit of luck, and then it turned tonight, and they got the luck on the first 2. Both those goals weren't great goals, and that's why you play the games. That's part of hockey. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't.
Jen Menendez, at Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Coach, was that the best you'd seen Jeff Malcolm play? I find it somewhat ironic that he was maybe the least heralded goalie coming into this Frozen Four weekend, and then had a game like that tonight.
Yeah, that's the best game I've ever seen him play. And he's been kind of streaky in his career there. He gets on runs, and the game we played in Atlantic City, we beat them 3-0. Like they outplayed us that game. Really outplayed us, and Hartzell was a stud, and we got a nice goal early, and then we got 2 mediocre ones a little bit later, but yeah, Malcolm was great tonight, and you got to give the kid credit. I mean, it's the biggest game of his career, and he pitches a shutout. We had 30-something shots. I don't know what we had, but we definitely had a lot of chances in the first 2 periods. I think the game got away from us there once they went 3-0, but there was we easily could have been up 1-0 or 2-0 going into the third. It's a different hockey game.
Okay, Ran, thanks very much.
Okay.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.